Alrighty, fallen starfish. Let's see what we get from a fishing quest this time. Not so lost in paradise? Oh, a painting. Now, while it's raining here, I think what would be a good idea is if we were to try and farm out nimbuses to see if we can get ourselves a nimbus rod. So, we've got battle potions on us. I'm pretty sure I've got water candles up at my hallowed arena. So, yeah, let's get this thing underway. So, welcome back, everybody, to the Let's Play. What I want to do today is a big one. I want to finally get that massive boss arena set up that's going to bridge the gap between the two sky lakes at the world spawn area. Hey, check it out, the Hopping Jack. Oh, for goodness sake! I was up at the graveyard biome because I was wanting to try and fill in the remainder of the bestiary. The Hopping Jack, which is kind of like a pumpkin slime, is the last thing we need to have spawn in. So, yeah, hopefully it won't take too long. And there we are. Looks like we can also find ourselves some of these nimbuses while we're up here as well. And that nimbus just had a very bad day. It's kind of amusing to me to think that a nimbus just got taken out by the weather. A mob which itself is the weather. The weather just killed the weather, my friend. Hey! Are you kidding me? Boulder rain. It really is going to be one of those episodes, isn't it? Wow. That is a crazy amount of deaths to kick things off here. What the hell? What? Dude. Boulder rain. Will you sod off? It's official. I am never ever, so long as there is breath in my body, I am never doing a Legendary Mode / For the Worthy Let's Play ever again. Simply because of the boulder rain. It's so annoying. It's not a good sign when I'm raging like barely a couple of minutes into the episode, hey, my friends. But that is what boulder rain drives you to. Well, it drives me to the very brink of insanity. But no matter. Let's see what we can do here. Nimbus Rod and the Hopping Jack. Those are the dudes I am looking for. At least the boulder rain can't touch me while I'm in the courtyard of my graveyard house, right? Yeah, we're actually kind of safe for once. Better yet, my queen spiders are taking care of the nimbuses. So that's pretty handy-dandy, isn't it? Oh, wait, hang on a minute. We have a Hopping Jack here, and we actually killed it this time. Oh! Ah! Wyverns, why are you even here? I don't understand. I thought that putting background walls down means that they don't spawn. And it's just stopped raining, so we're not going to have any more chances of getting ourselves a Nimbus Rod. Ah... Okay, Terraria, can you, like, just let up just a little bit with the keeping on punishing me? I'd appreciate it. All right, Billy, what you got for me? Catfish. We've got plenty of those bad boys. So here we go. What have we got? Another tackle box. Okay, very good. So that actually reminds me, one of the things I have done since the last episode is taken on one of your guys' suggestions, which was Shimmer transmuting a tackle box into the high-test fishing line. And there it is. All right, very good. So, we need, so far as I know, only one more of these accessories, and then we can make ourselves the tackle bag, right? Yeah, there it is. So then, the boss arena. We are going to be making it primarily out of pink dungeon bricks, because they are impervious to explosions. With that said, though, we're going to need ourselves quite a heck of a lot more than just 400. Only I don't think 400 is going to be enough to bridge this gap here. My intention is to have, like, a brick wall at the left, brick wall on the right, and then a long long pig dungeon brick path, bridging the gap between the two islands. And then maybe eventually we could make some, like, giant pillars going down to the ground to make it look like it's properly supported. So here we go. Dungeon brick mining time. Not something I do all that often, it has to be said, but here we are. These are the lengths you have to go to when you have a Skeletron Prime, which shoots out bombs that do indeed blow up tiles. Now, while I make a start here, my friends, it gives me an opportunity to say a massive thank you for all of your lovely support throughout this series. I really do appreciate it a lot, my friends. Of course, if you do want to continue supporting these episodes, I'd really very much appreciate it if you'd consider dropping a like. Now, one thing I will be doing over the next several episodes is I will be changing gears just a little bit. Only making progress through the game is something I really want to try and start focusing on. So, in the next episode, for example, I'd like to not only go for one of the mech bosses, but ideally, all three of them. Only we've been doing a heck of a lot of building of pylon bases, fishing shacks, making sure everything's sort of nicely connected together. I really do feel like now is the time to start focusing on progression. So yeah, hopefully that's got a few folks excited. It's been a while since we've gone for a boss. Well, it certainly feels like it anyway. So yeah, it'll be cool to get back to progressing through the game. And more to the point, venturing into even more uncharted territory. So, up we go to the Sky Island. Oh, just about managing to reach that island right there. Very, very good. So, we're going to start off by making the actual bridge itself. Oh, mate, this is going to be a huge headache, isn't it? Aww. What? Always when it comes to me wanting to do nice chill building episodes, Terraria has other ideas. So here we go. Without further ado, dungeon brick placing time. In fact, you know what? We could probably do this a lot quicker. There we are. If we had our builder set on. Dude! Calm down, please! Let me build in peace! It's worth mentioning that some of you folks in the previous episode's comments area were saying that apparently Skeletron Prime's bombs can indeed blow up dungeon bricks, but nowhere I've read seems to suggest that that is indeed the case, so I'm not entirely sure if I should believe that. I guess we'll find out whether or not Skeletron Prime's bombs in Legendary Mode still blow up dungeon bricks when we actually go for Skeletron Prime, I guess. Look at this for perfection, though. Wow. Okay, I am very, very happy with that, my friends. Very, very happy. I can't believe that the altitudes of these two Sky Islands are the exact same. I won't lie, these wyverns continuously spawning in doesn't exactly fill me with hope that this boss arena is going to do us much good, especially in terms of, you know, being able to take down bosses without getting distracted by the constant spawning of wyverns. So, oh, I don't know. I guess we'll see how things go, but, hello, man. Alright, 3 layers of dungeon bricks have been placed down. Now, what I'd like to do is get some dungeon brick towers placed down. So what we're going to do is something like this. Maybe we have ourselves like a tall gate here, so we've still got access to the Sky Islands. But then, yeah. Well, oh. 292 damage done via the pre-hard mode dark casters. Oh, man. man. I'll tell you something for nothing, my friends. I am very glad that I ditched the death counter. Editor me would have been incredibly very annoyed at the state of this episode so far. Blimey. My patience is being sorely tested today. Oh, man. Why did I decide to do this at the space layer? On paper, it's a great idea. Like, really, it is. It's a great idea, this build. But in practice... oh dear. And the thing is, I'm spending so much of my time having to take these guys down because they have 16,000 health apiece. Like, seriously, if I was to tot up the amount of time I've spent taking down wyverns instead of working on my build here, it's actually kind of staggering. Oh, fuck. Just leave me alone! That time I was sipping on a cup of tea. This game won't even allow me to sip on a cup of tea today. Please just go away. Like, seriously, I feel like this episode is going so bad to the point where I'm getting pretty close to wanting to scrap this. Oh, man. Dude, game, just stop, please. And another one. And another one. Ah, peace candles. Excellent. Most definitely needed, my friends. Alongside all of the other various buffs we've got going on. So, hopefully 4 loads of each will do the job. So let's get ourselves back up to the arena. Let's get these things placed down. And we'll see how things go. 1 tall gate, 2 tall gates. Now we are going to scientifically place down these buff stations in such a way that we maximize their effectiveness. The wiki seems to suggest, for example, that the... oh my flipping god! The wiki seems to suggest, for example, that the campfire will buff up an area of 170 blocks by 125 blocks. And that is an area centered on your player. I think what I'll do, though, to be on the safe side, is I'll space up the buff stations about 80 blocks from my player. So from here, for example, we would go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Then we whip out our ruler and we carry on attempting to place down these torches. There we are. So that is now 80. So now we can get the first of the buff stations placed down. So when I go to the very far right-hand side here, yeah, we still got all of our buffs. Beautiful. So now from here, because we need to factor in the 80 blocks from this here buff station, and obviously the 80 blocks from the other buff station, or the next buff station, we need to go 160 blocks from here. And another one. My friends, please, never ever let me suggest making a boss arena in the high up areas of the world ever again. Please. And another one. And another one. This is honestly getting so annoying now that I just want to speed towards the finish of this series. I never want to play for the worthy ever again. I know that even on normal worlds I'd have to deal with the wyverns anyway. But it's just, it's an amalgamation of... It's an amalgamation of a lot of different things that has me feeling this kind of way, chief among which is the boulder rain. There comes a point where the difficulty is just no longer fun. And another one. Oh my god. Please leave me alone. Well, in good news, the scientific placement of the buff stations means that I only actually needed 3 buff stations, which is pretty good going, to be fair. My OCD, however, wants the center buff station to be exactly centered above the potion greenhouse and world spawn here, which weirdly isn't actually at dead center on the compass. Like, if I was to head to world spawn here, down to the center, we're actually at 10 units to the east, not at the dead center. Bit weird, that, isn't it? I'm doing this so I can prevent Skeletron Prime from destroying my world. I'm going to all this effort for something which will probably just result in even worse results. A mech boss plus a random wyvern is probably what's going to happen. Let's just be frank here. Oh, okay. Right. Well, the good news is the buff stations are placed down. The torches are placed down. As a result, we are about as ready as we can be to attempt the mech bosses. Now, I know this isn't the greatest looking thing I've ever built, but as I said before, eventually I think it would be a cool idea to have massively long pillars that span all the way down to the ground, so it looks like, you know, this place is properly supported. But yeah, next episode we'll be ready, hopefully, to go for the mech bosses, and hopefully all 3 of them as well. That would be nice, eh? Do you know what, my friends? I feel like we should actually give the new arena a test today, and against the offending mech boss. So, in our hard mode stuffs chest down here, we do have ourselves a couple of mech skills, which is great. We only need 1, of course. And I think we shouldn't mess around, okay? I'm not going to use the Forbidden Armor or my current set of gear. I am instead going to make for myself the Frozen Armor, or Frost Armor, whatever it's actually called. And the good news is I've got enough titanium and titanium bars for that, or at least I hope I do. Let me just pop up here real quick. See what amount we wind up with. 66. That's actually pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so where are we looking? Frost helmet, frost breastplate, frost leggings, 56 defense, up to a whopping 73. Incredible. In terms of ranged buffs, 16% increased ranged damage, then 11% increased ranged crit chance, and then we also have a further 10% via the set bonus, and ranged attacks caused frostburn. I just hope that I can actually affect Skeletron Prime with frostburn. If not, then yeah, that's a bit of a waste, isn't it? But anyways, check it out. We've actually got ourselves 20 titanium bars remaining. Are there any things that I want to make? I mean, I won't lie. There's part of me that wants to make the titanium sword, but also the titanium pickaxe. I'm just going to say sod it. Let's go ahead and make it. Then, my friends, we need to start thinking about our accessories. I'm thinking a quiver and then a ranger emblem. So there we are. Magic quiver increases arrow damage by 10% and greatly increases arrow speed. Love the sound of that. Lucky plus crit chance. Do you know what? I actually quite like the sound of that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a ranger emblem. There we are. Beautiful. Right, menacing is what I'm looking for here. Menacing will mean, nope, a grand total of 19% increased range damage, in which case Daedalus Stormbolt now does a whopping 68 damage, and the Holy Arrows do a further 20. We've got some pretty okay crit chances there as well. Now, because we're going to be mostly flying in the air to avoid Skeletron Prime's attacks, I think it might actually be a nice idea if we have the Bee-Cloak on in place of the Terraspark boots. I mean, this is the ultimate offensive and defensive accessory simultaneously, right? So, yeah, I think we've got a good loadout here, actually. Now, since the last episode, I've already gone ahead and put a ton, and I really do mean a ton, of buff potions in my void bag, but there is one more buff potion which I'd very much like to start putting in there. The calming potion. Unfortunately, I don't think we can make it because we don't have damselfish, which I believe are what's required. They are, of course, caught at Sky Lakes. So, the 9 we have here will have to be the 9 we have. Decreases enemy spawn rate. That is why we're going for it. Any chance I can take to minimize wyvern spawns, I'm going to take it. So let's get our passive buffs on. And then I'm going to leave it to the last possible second to get myself up to my arena. Only I really don't want there to be a chance of wyvern spawning in before the boss battle even begins. Alrighty, with less than 30 seconds to go, let's get ourselves up here. We are going to get our Queen Spider staff and various other dudes on here. Let's just go right to the middle here. One could go right there. One could go right here. Then we're going to have ourselves a Crimson Rod. Still pretty upset that we didn't manage to get for ourselves a Nimbus Rod, but no matter. Just got to play with the cards we've been dealt, my friends. So without further ado, here we go. Let's make sure we're zooming on out here. And we'll see what happens. This is the first... Oh, wow. Already. We have lost a little bit of our platform. Well, that's actually not very good at all, because there might be a possibility of us losing our buff stations. With that said, though, we are not losing our dungeon bricks. The dungeon bricks remain impervious to the explosions. Oh, mate, I can't tell you how happy I am about that. Right, maybe get ourselves some health back here real quick. I feel like this guy's movement speed is kind of nuts, actually. To the point where I'm struggling to avoid his arms. So, yeah. Alright, man. Alright, here we go. I need to try and get some distance here, ideally. But, yeah, look at that. 43,000 health. Looking kind of okay. Maybe we get rid of the mini-map here. That way I can see what's going on. We still appear to have some buffs. But, yeah, our wood platform is taking one heck of a beating, isn't it? Oh, my word. All right, 10 seconds, and then we can have ourselves just a little bit more health. Not actually liking the fact that I can't see where his head is sometimes, though. So maybe we bring that back up here. 31,000 health. We are more than halfway through the boss battle, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? We're actually doing way better than I thought we would. Like, way, way better. I'm so happy at the fact that the dungeon bricks remain impervious to Skeletron Prime's cannon, though. That is excellent, excellent, excellent news. And, you know, thinking about it realistically, how many times do you really need to take down Skeletron Prime in a typical run-through? Maybe a couple of times at most for souls, for weapons, or something or other? Not many times you really need to do it, though, is it? Unless you're me, and you're going for the crazy completionist goal of trying to get yourself a trophy and master mode drop from every boss. Which, I'll be honest, is a goal I've been largely neglecting in this series as of late, isn't it? Alright, very, very good. So, by the looks of it, there's only a couple of arms left, and this guy's got less than 10,000 health. Excellent. And his cannon is gone as well, which is very, very, very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Legendary Mode Skeletron Prime, and, well, to say that this has been an absolute breeze is understatement of the century. He's dead. Wow, that was only supposed to be a test run, and I managed to take him out. Okay. Well and truly, my friends, my mood has been restored. This was worth it in the finish. All that pain and suffering earlier in the episode was worth it. Joe, honestly, sometimes I look back on things that I do on this game and I just kind of think, maybe you should just have a little bit more patience. Maybe this was one of those times, eh, my friends? Oh, look at the state of my wood platform, though. That is looking very, very worse for wear. Unfortunately, as well, we didn't get the Master Mode drop nor trophy from that guy. So, we're going to have to take it down probably a few more times at the very least. Hopefully, RNG will be kind to us, and it will mean that we don't have to take him down all that many more times. But, you know, I guess we'll see, my friends. Without further ado, though, it's time to wrap up today's episode on a high note with the comment of the day. Duncan Bain says, Python, you might be able to free up your forest pylon once you acquire the shell phone. Because you have the option to toggle your world spawn on the shell phone, your forest pylon can be freed up and used elsewhere. Yes, it most certainly can, my friend. I totally agree. And I'm very much looking forward to having the forest pylon be freed up because I know exactly where I'd want to have it instead. And that is over at this NPC hotel. That way I've got easy access to all of my accessory and weapons chests, and I've got easy access to my trophy display area of epicness. So yeah, very much looking forward to getting that going. For now though, it's time to wrap up today's episode. I apologize if my raging maybe made the episode a little bit less enjoyable, but at the end, my friends, we came out on top, and I feel like that's all that matters. We are continuing to venture into uncharted territory in this series, my friends. One mech boss is down, 2 more remain, and hopefully both of them will be downed in the next episode. Drop a like if you've enjoyed today's episode. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you don't want to miss out on my future content. But for now, have a great rest of your day.